Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match fallout show on the internet. I've just come back from Newcastle, literally just come back from Newcastle, where it was Newcastle 3, West Ham 1, and barring a miracle, our relegation to the Championship has been confirmed. Discuss. That's all I'm going to say. Discuss.
And we deserve it. We deserve it because
agree.
you know what, right? You know, I can take losing. I've seen us do it 19 times this season. I can't handle the no effort. There was no effort from them players yesterday. In that first 20 minutes, it's already like they know they're relegated mentally. You know, you look at that pass from Hermansen. You know, all right, it was over here a bit. The defender's not even bothered looking. He's turned around, and the lack of effort to get back to try to stop that. Fernandes, who everyone's rating as £100 million player, no chance. There is no effort for this team. And even the manager, even yesterday when I see him smiling after the game in his press conference, the geezer don't care. Does not care because he knows he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. Just like some of these overplayed prats that we've got now. There's just no... Like we went through that purple patch where it all give us a little bit of hope that we're thinking, yeah, we can get out of this. But every time we have a chance, it's in our hands to pull away. What do? We hand it to the other teams. And then, as Nicky says, unless a miracle happens, look, Tottenham will most probably lose tomorrow night. I think they're going to get a point. I think they're going to probably stay out tomorrow night. But if they do lose, it goes to the final day. You know, and can you see Tottenham not getting a win? You know, and do you know what? The way the season's gone, Tottenham can lose both their games. And we probably still won't beat Leeds.
Yeah. I totally agree. And you know what? I mean, let me have these boys have their say first because I'm normally one that rants and raves and fucking goes on for ages. I'll let you two fucking talk first.
Well, go on, Scott. I think you're the only one who hasn't had a say yet on it.
Ah, mate, listen, that first 20 minutes absolutely killed us. Right, Ryan said there was the effort from the players. You know, the decision-making from the players. I think Roy Keane summed it up absolutely completely. You know, the way the second goal conceded, Disasi went missing. You know, there's so many players just went missing and just switched off at key moments and key times. And it's not good enough. Look, you know me. I've been on at this manager since we first got him, right? And I hate the fact that it seems the way things are going, I'm going to be right. And he picked that lineup, and we sat on Friday Night Pint, and we turned around and said, Wilson needs to start, but he can't start in one up front. So what does he do? Starts in one up front.
Scott, we had that conversation in the group chat, didn't we, just before the game?
Exactly.
We both said it. If you're going to play that system, which you shouldn't have played, play it against Arsenal, I totally understand. Newcastle away, when Newcastle got nothing to play for, they're there for the taking. You know, you play Wilson up top, on his own, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. If you're going to do that, put Tatty up front.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? And this is what really, really does me with this manager. It's schoolboy errors from a management level. You can't excuse the level of performance in them players in that first. It's inexcusable. That was pathetic, and they should do better. But the systems, the tactics were completely wrong from the get-go. Right, he can't control how bad the players were. That's nothing to do with the manager. The players have got to take that on themselves. Starting with the captain, who was absolutely pathetic yesterday. There was no point in being on the pitch whatsoever because he was absolutely useless. And when you think back at this purple patch that we had, it coincided with a purple patch that Somerville seemed to have. Then we lost Somerville to injury, and he's not recovered. Yesterday, he looked our most dangerous player.
Yeah.
Our talisman, our captain, was nowhere to be seen. Souček had the worst game I've seen him have in a West Ham shirt. And it took us to go 2-0 down to actually start playing football, to actually try and create something. And then, look, I know we're going to break down the game and all that, but the substitutions, Pablo, what's that guy doing? You know, and again, this is the manager. It's a player the manager brought in the door. Tatty's worked out because of the work rate he's got. Great finish for his goal. But Pablo, useless. Again, Traore, useless. Where's he gone? Disappeared off the face of the earth. You know, the manager...
It's all about Nicky for a second there.
But, yeah, I mean, there's so many errors that you look at the manager, you look at the players, and individual errors from the players are inexcusable. That performance in that first 20 minutes is inexcusable, but the gaffer makes the decisions. And he got it completely wrong yesterday.
Yeah, and honestly, everything about yesterday was unforgivable from the manager. And look, you've all summed up Nuno. I was on the fence on Nuno, but that was just what he did yesterday. Once again, just proved he ain't got the bollocks for this job. He just hasn't, and we just see it time and time again. And we go to games like Palace, who are there for the taking, and you play for a draw. You know, in this situation, we're the only team that have a manager like that. And funny enough, we're the team that's looking likely to get relegated. It's yeah. Go on, man.
The issue is that our purple patch coincided with a couple of changes in the side. Yeah, we can all agree that Pablo and Tati come in, the energy levels and the effort levels went up. Right, we started to win games. We started, and even like we lost a couple, but mostly we played well. Yeah, we said we needed Wilson in for goals, but as I said this morning, you cannot make a choice between hard work and goals because they go hand in hand. You need them both to get out of a relegation scrap. And we started getting them, Tati, as I think, has shown that he's a decent level striker. He's not a top quality striker, but he's a decent level striker that can score goals at decent times. But Callum Wilson is probably the best centre forward we've got in terms of goal scoring. It isn't one or the other. There hasn't been no time this season since Tati and Pablo have come in that Tati or Pablo has not played, and if someone else has played, there's not been a two playing up front. Why on earth he decided to go five at the back yesterday? Yep. Why on earth he decided to go without Tati or Pablo? One or the other is fucking mind-boggling. And this goes back to the very first games, not the first game because it was Everton, but the first games that we saw when people started going off to AFCON and all of that sort of stuff, and he really had to make a choice, was the Leeds and Brentford game. He made some stupid choices in the Leeds and Brentford game. And I remember you saying, Scott, I can't remember what one came first, whether it was Leeds or Brentford.
Brentford.
It was Brentford. Okay, so he made them stupid where he's playing right backs at left backs and left backs at fucking right backs and all of this stuff. And I said to you, give him time. He's not going to make them same mistakes again. The issue is he's made them time and time again. Yeah. You do not go into the 37th game of the season needing to win, trying something new. If you're doing that, you have got a fucking clue what you're doing. And if you're doing that, and we've seen it time and time again, every time we need to fucking get on the front foot and we need to attack teams, he shits the bed. Not just shits the bed, but he starts doing stupid things. I don't know whether he's trying to look like a tactical fucking genius, right? Or he's trying to sort of look at people because I've seen that it's obvious he's got an individual problem with Callum Wilson. It seems to me like this may be, go on, you've fucking been asking for him. There we go. Chuck him out there. Let's see what he fucking does. Oh, look, we've lost the game. That's what it seemed to me. It seemed like pettiness. But the fact of the matter is this, no matter what formation he played, I've got a feeling that the players looked at that yesterday and they've been training it all week and they looked at it and thought, we ain't got a fucking chance here. We know that this ain't going to fucking work. What's the fucking point of us running ourselves into the ground? That's what it just seems there is so much disillusionment in the club. Right. And I sat there long and hard yesterday. Right. I was going to come home from Newcastle yesterday. I felt a little bit tired. My neck was, if anyone would have seen me, they couldn't even move. I was moving like fucking RoboCop. Right. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I need one more night. And I sat in that hotel room last night. I laid on the bed. I thought about the game and I started to come to peace with the terms of relegation. And you know why I started to come to peace with it? Because I think this is the reset this club needs. I think if we did not go down this season, I think when you look at the podcast that we saw, and we saw all of this this doom and gloom about players will need to be sold anyway. I think this may be, and I know people are going to start saying, "Oh, this is copies and blah 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 blah." No, this is me having a good hard think. I've been the most positive person when it comes to staying up. I've been saying it. There's plenty of times to play, but we've run out of time now, and it looks like it's going to go. But when I've really thought about it, when I really thought about the ramifications, I believe next season we would have been at Wolves. We wouldn't have won games. at all. We would have just been getting beat week after week after week. And sadly, I think the relegation, apart from the fact that there's going to be a load of fucking empty seats at a stadium that we shouldn't be in the first place, relegation is probably what we need, because then players will need to go anyway, and we need to rebuild from the bottom up. And now
the thing is, though, I can honestly see us struggling in the Championship. The Championship is not going to be a walkover just because we're West Ham and we've got a 65-seater stadium, 1,000-seater stadium. It don't fucking matter. We're gonna be targeted next season, and you're talking about a rebuild, and we've got some good young players, but to hack it in the Championship, it's going to be tough. And
I think we can get to a point where we can get a decent Championship. So I was going through it the other day, but this club needs a reset, right? I think this resetting now would be better than resetting next year, because
this club cannot reset until he's gone. Until David Sullivan's gone, this club cannot reset. That is where you got to start. So if it takes us going down, if it takes us getting another relegation, if it means him going, then I think we'll all take it. Like, look, I like the Premier League. I like being in the Premier League. I like the games. I like playing against the best players in the world. But we've just not shown anything. We've had four games left towards the end of the season. I was sitting there thinking, do you know what? We might actually do this. And the last 3 games has shown me why we're where we are, because them players have got no fight. And I know you're saying about Nuno, and I get that. But at the end of the day, them players are the ones that go on the pitch. And yesterday, we could sit here and talk about Jared Bowen all night long. I think he's been poor. He hasn't scored in his last 12 games. When we need him to score goals, he hasn't. Yes, he's got a few assists, but we need him to score goals. And it's just you look at around that team and you look at the players, and yesterday I'm watching Fernandes jogging back. I'm watching Souček, strolling around. Okay, there was the extra man in the middle for Newcastle, and that is the risk you take when you play 5 at the back. I mean, Wan-Bissaka up and down. Somerville, as you said, he was the only one that showed a little bit of a spark, but he hasn't been that great. I think people have been overhyping him a little bit because he's just standing out in a shit team.
The thing is though, right? You sit there and look at it. Yeah, they outnumbered our midfield the whole game. But amazingly, when we went 4 at the back, we dealt with it better than we did when we were 3 at the back, because Newcastle then had to defend a bit more. Do you know what I mean? He went there to try and keep it 0-0 until the 60th or 70th minute, and then try and nick a goal. That's what he tried to do.
When he should have gone for it. He should have gone for it from the goal, from the word goal.
Look what happened when we did start putting a bit of pressure on. Newcastle started to wheel.
Yeah.
And if we'd have done that from day dot, we'd have got the first goal, then we'd have got the second goal, and we'd have been fine.
Yep. But I agree.
Listen, too many. Listen, we're not going to. We sit here every week and we moan about individual. At the end of the day, it's a collection of farcical, unforgivable decisions, from the football club to the manager to some of the players when they fucking step out over that white line. Because at the end of the day, Ryan's right. Even though the manager makes fuck up after fuck up, at the end of the day, the responsibility falls on the players, when they cross over that right line. But everything about this football club was deemed. You look at 3 years ago, and, you look at what we've lost over the last 3 years since we won that European Cup. Yes, Declan Rice was inevitable. He's going to go. We could not replace Declan Rice. But you look at what's come in and what's gone out for the money that we've paid for some of these people. Sullivan has always been gambling, because there's no due diligence been done on any of these players. Look at the players.
We've gone from Prague to Portsmouth within 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. But there's no due diligence done on any of these players, because it was just scattergun approaches, fucking as usual. There's no fault. There's no logic behind it. And all he was ever fucking gambling on to the day he died, to the day he dies, is that there's going to be 3 worse teams in the Premier League. The 3 that come up will always go down. And that is what he was gambling on, because there is no structure around this football club. Now, what they need to do, Brady's walked out. She sees what's coming. We know other stuff's coming as well, and that's going to fucking play a huge part. But I think they can all see it coming. There is no structure to this football club. And basically, you've got an asset there that is sitting there it's dwindling in what it's worth. being run like a fucking circus. And it all goes back to 10 years ago. What did Mark Noble say? This club ain't being run like a circus anymore. No, it's not being run like a circus. It's being run like a fucking pawn shop. That's what it's been run like, because it's fucking disgraceful the way this club's been run. It's fucking disgraceful how they people at the top, and that there's no one stepped in and sort of like put their foot in and gone, hold on a minute, this is fucking ridiculous. Like the managing director that's just fucking gone. She's the one that's meant to be responsible for the business side of it. She took them big bonuses for the business side of it. And the business is being run into the ground. And when it comes to the crunch, they all abandon it like fucking like rats from a sinking ship. The whole club is fucking farcical. The whole fucking club is rotten from the core. And it's been rotten for a long time. Those European days papered over a lot of fucking cracks. And Moyes left, right? Because I've heard a lot more Moyes shit going on this week. Moyes left because he could fucking see the water coming in. Don't worry about that. But Moyes was never going to sign another fucking deal because he already see the leaks in the fucking boat already. And that is what everybody else is doing now. They can see the fucking the ship is sinking and they're abandoning it. They're a fucking disgrace. The ownership is a disgrace. And if he had any decency, let alone fucking business sense, but fucking decency as a person, he'd hold up his fucking hands today and turn around and go, I can't do this no more. Let someone fucking come in and give me a whatever price it is to get him out, because he's a fucking disgrace. The way that this club's run is a disgrace. And the only people that will be here, including that little cunt, the only people that would be here at the end of it to pick up the fucking pieces is us four here and the other people that go there every fucking week. And that is the fucking hard reality.
I ain't picking up the mess. I ain't taking on their debt. But no, look, when you think,
you know what I'm saying,
when you look at it, right, 16 years.
Sorry, mate, go on.
I was going to say, when you look back at 16 years, you can see the mess we're in. 16 years they've been there. I know it ain't confirmed yet, but you've got 2 relegations in there. They've had 9 managers since they've been there in 16 years. You know, we haven't got a home. We're renting a stadium that no one wanted. They've taken our home away from us, and we're in a complete mess. We're in our worst debt we've ever been in. The club is in fucking trouble. So a drop to the Championship, it's going to make it even worse. I know you say that you want the reset, but we're going to lose so much money going down. We're going to lose so much money.
Down the
longer you're down there,
yeah,
the more fucked you are, the more you turn into a Championship club rather than a Premier League club in the Championship.
The issue that I saw, and this is what I've been thinking about today, we're fucked anyway. We owe 120 million, right? We've got to pay 120 million. So the players that we had that are any good, and there's not fucking many of them because we've paid so much money, the players that were any good would have had to go anyway. So we began into
we would have got more money for them as a Premier League club.
Yes, you're right. We would have got more money for them. But the harsh reality is this: going down, we will have to sell them. They're not going to stay under any circumstances. And this is the problem. And this is why I think it's better to be out the league, because in the Championship, and I know it's a good league, and I'm not fucking taking anything away from the Championship, but replacing them with players that get competent in that league is a lot easier than trying to find Premier League replacements, because we're not there. We're not there. And all of the players that have to go, there are players in our team now, right? And probably Kilman might be one, might be decent in the Championship. He's no good to a Premier League side. No good. We can play the likes of Kante. We can play the likes of Potts, who will be competent in the Premier League. In the Championship, sorry. They won't be competent in the Premier League. And this is why, instead of selling the 3 or 4 good assets that we've got and then trying to find Premier League replacements to stop this rot from happening, the fact that we have to sell them all, and I'll include Jared Bowen in this, that we have to sell them all and then try and find Championship replacements is a lot fucking easier. Now,
yeah, but the problem is, in terms of coming up, you need that. We need players that are too good for the Championship.
You have to face that hurdle as we get there, Dan. We're not there. We're not there.
I think the thing is, though, with a lot of this money that we owe on transfer fees, it's money broken over a period of time. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we've got to pay back all the money in one go. The way these deals are structured, they're structured payments. So if we owe 120 million, for a couple of players, that's not going to be 120 million that's got to come out there and then. It'll be broken over the period of the contracts. That's how they seem to do these deals. Yeah, it's how Chelsea get away with spending the mega amounts of money that they spend that no other club seems to take advantage of. It's. I get
when we sell our players, Scott, it works both ways, because the fees we get are going to be spread as well. So
yeah, And
No,
that's
we're not going to
that's
get 50 mil
Yeah,
in
but
one month.
all you
you're
need
basically
all you need
if
is
you sell
guarantee
Fernandes
of the money
for
coming in.
60
That's all you
million,
need.
you're offsetting the debt that you're paying. So you may earn 5 million quid in the original transfer, but then the rest of it will be paying off the debt that we owe for signing Fernandes. You know, and things like that. This is how you've got to look. So if you look at a transfer fee, you're probably going to be only taking 5 to 10% of that transfer fee up front, unless if you make a profit on the player that you're selling. You know, try and sell Pablo back for the 20 million that we paid for him in the first place. He's going to be in next season.
Scott, I won't even give you 20 quid for Pablo, mate.
But he's going to be one of the players that's still going to be here.
Mate,
Yeah, probably,
he'll still be here. And when we're in the Championship next season and he finally scores his first goal away to Portsmouth and he starts celebrating like he's won the World Cup, they want to fucking love him.
Yeah. This is it. Let me quickly read these super chats. 97 says we need to do everything to keep Tatty. F everyone. I think it means F everyone else. He wants to keep Tatty for the Championship. Jason, £5 super chat. Thank you, mate. Says, could West Ham do a Leicester and go to League One because you will probably lose your best players and you're left with the. It's possible. We're not too good, too big for that. We just have to see. I just want to talk about.
Sorry, Dan. I'm with Nicky though. Some of our worser players will probably do all right in the Championship.
Yeah, but there's doing all right, and then there's being better than our competition.
Oh,
because it's tough.
Yeah, I said it to you. I said it to you the other night when we was on. You know, I think if we get relegated to the Championship, we are behind teams. Not only the two teams that have been relegated, which I think are better suited to the Championship than we are, in Burnley and Wolves, but we're behind the likes of Middlesbrough and teams like that who have almost. We're going to be behind the likes of Wrexham.
Oh, and mind you, if you like just going off subject a little bit, have you seen what's been going on with that playoff final?
That's crazy, mate.
Have you seen it?
Crazy. I haven't seen recent updates today, but
so there's going to be a investigation. They've been caught spying Southampton, and there's all these fucking people saying like they could be chucked out, but they've got to play the game because there's going to be an appeal process, right? And I've even heard today, which is I was going to take this as a pinch of salt after the Man City thing, that if they win the playoff final, they could be delayed by a year of going into the Premier League, right? And we might stay up because of these fucking court cases.
Problem is, like all this Spygate product, right? All this Middlesbrough had 180 million and they couldn't score a goal. They lost the game. Move on. You know what I mean? It's all fucking. It's a joke. All this, like,
I don't know.
Just
look. Looking at the game, I have to say, Ario, we've got one game. Drop Hermansen because look, he brought him in, and okay, we kept some clean sheets, but he had a better defense. The defense started to get itself together. We brought in Disasi. Mavropanos had the form of his life, and I think that Hermansen took a lot of the plaudits. But Areola is an experienced player who's been in this situation, good shot stopper, and we've lauded up Hermansen because he can pass the ball. Well, clearly. You know what I mean? When it matters, he couldn't. And I don't care. I'm so tired of playing out from the back. I'm so tired about people lauding distribution and passing for goalkeepers. I just want a fucking goalkeeper that can make saves. And that from him yesterday was the start of our downfall.
Like, the thing is, Dan, I totally agree, mate. I think goalkeepers are just there to keep the ball out the back of the net. Now they're all playing like sweepers and centre half. You look what happened when Hermansen went long yesterday? We scored.
But we lost the ball a lot.
No, I know, but when you go long, I'd rather him go long and us lose the fucking ball at their end than mucking about at there. We're not good enough to play it around at the back.
Mate, I was just about to say that. Like, it's fucking all well and good if you're playing at the back. Well, try and play in the fucking middle first. You know what I mean? No other cunt can pass the ball 5 yards.
I know Pep's just left, fucking topical, right? He's leaving, but people want to play like Pep when you're in a relegation battle. Yeah. Like, it's absurd. Like, how have we got this negative manager who's playing this negative formation that invites teams on, and we're fucking playing it out from the back? How does that make sense? That don't fucking compute.
Yeah, and Dan, do you know what does me right? Is that how many times yesterday did Hermansen get the ball in his hands, go to throw it out quick, and there was no one. You play negative formation, you've got to counter. You've got to play on a counter attack. There was no one to throw the ball to.
Mate, it was driving me mad. The amount of, and I've seen this since the later years of Moyes, sideways, backwards. It's so easy to defend against because we're so fucking predictable. You can see it's coming a mile away. We get on the ball, stop. Pass it backwards.
The thing is, though, we haven't got the players good enough to do that.
No,
show me one player in that team, apart like maybe Somerville, that gets that ball, gets their head down, and tries to take people on. They don't. Even Bowen don't do it no more. And you know what? Look, Bowen, we don't know what's going on with Bowen. For me,
something's going on.
He looks like he's injured. I reckon he's getting injection. He's been playing a long time. I think he's been playing a long time with injury. We know Bowen loves this football club. We do. But if you're not gonna like improve the team, put him on the bench. He should have been subbed off yesterday. Not leaving him on. He was poor.
Yeah,
you know, and look,
and when he did have the chance, he shot it straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, because he's desperate to score. It's all about individuals in our team.
Yep.
You know, you look around that changing room. I can imagine some of them players look around and you think, "Oh, I've got to go to war with these." Half of these don't even look like they want to be there.
That's right. That's great.
Yeah. Shout out to Rich, £10 super chat. Thank you, mate. At least I had a nice 1,400 quid. Nice football bet up Saturday. Hungarian, Slovakian, and Slovenian football.
It's fucking man. Our football.
Day Spurs. Shout out to Day, regular super chatter. This is all because Dan and Nicky got giddy after Everton. Listen, you get a last minute winner like that, you're going to get a bit giddy. You're going to get a bit happy. And this is the thing. After that, that should have carried us on. That should have carried us forward. But that we haven't won a game since.
We've gone back.
And we ain't scored a goal. I don't think we've scored that Newcastle game. I don't think we've scored before that.
No, that was our first goal in the three games.
Which was an amazing goal, but it meant fuck all.
You look after that Everton game when we was all on a high. You know, Tottenham won that day. They beat Wolves. And I remember we got that last minute went against Everton. Then we had to go to Brentford. You know, and you're thinking to yourself, we can go and get a result there. We got battered 3-0. Okay, we had chances. And they've come out now and said that we should have had 2 penalties. It don't matter. They're not going to give us anything out of that game. It's mistakes, right? They should have picked him up on the day. Could have been a different result. The 2 away games, Brentford and Newcastle, is where, because we didn't look at that Arsenal game as getting anything. Brentford and fucking Newcastle should have been the 2 games where we give everything for these final fucking running, and we've bottled it. People talk about Spurs being bottle jobs and Arsenal being bottle jobs. We're fucking big bottle jobs because we've had so many chances this season and we've bottled it.
Yeah, right.
And that is why where we are.
Yeah,
totally
time and time again, mate. Time and time again, and just looking at that game, like the second goal again, that just piss poor Souček up in the midfield. You know what I mean? Losing, he was just absolutely poor, and we just get done by this fucking clown who's been shit all season, just nonsense geezer with his fucking Michael Jackson glove. Just completely rips us apart.
I don't see how Kante isn't getting at least a consideration for a start.
No,
because when he
weren't great when he come on, but
he was much better than what we fucking had.
Yeah. He was completely defeated, but he brings Pablo on, and Pablo cost us the first goal and completely kills it. Game over. Pablo, what the fuck is he doing?
Where's Magassa? He ain't even getting a look in anymore, is he?
He's shit.
He's shit, but he's got to be better than fucking Souček. I love Souček. I think he's been brilliant.
It's Kante's the one, mate.
When you're getting overrun and losing the ball, losing every battle, you know, sometimes you've got to look at these players and you just think you've been loyal, but you're not good enough. Put someone else on that's going to give it a go at least. I'd rather have someone like Magassa or Kante on, you know, putting in fucking tackles and trying to make something happen than someone like Souček who's just there because he eats potato salad and we love him.
He's just got no ideas, Nuno. Like, we've seen him pissing about and experimenting, but he's just fucking guessing. He's throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. That's all it is. There's no.
Dan, that's all well and good, but after 37 fucking games, you know, he shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
No.
the 37 games he's been in charge of, he shouldn't still be making similar mistakes to what he made when he first joined the club. And this is the thing. That's what it all boils down to. There's no
Lopetegui all over again. Do you remember him? He just would not stop. He could not stop experience. He couldn't figure out what to do with these players. I don't know what it is with the managers.
This sums up the football club. We always go backwards. We always go backwards with our appointments and managers. We just go for cheap, out of work fucking managers. And the reason they're out of work is because they're poor. They're not good enough. Yeah. And we all thought that when Potter come in, we had a couple of games, it looked good. We looked even worse. We get Nuno in, look, I don't know who would have kept us up this season. It's difficult, but we're never going to pay for managers. We never pay the compensation. How much money have we wasted on players when we could have just gone out and spent money on a decent manager who will come in and get a tune out of these players? But no, we go cheap. We go if we get relegated, Nuno gets released. He'll be in a job next season, probably in a struggling Premier League team when they sack someone.
Yeah. That Leeds game, we played Leeds before they turned it around and started getting good. That game was there to be won, right? If we didn't play, and just looking at it, right? I've got a list here of some of the mad decisions. You said that the right back at right wing back and the left back at left wing back, not even back. Andy Irvine, his persistence with fucking Andy Irvine, who we all looked at and said, at best, he's a championship player. One of the slowest players I've ever seen. He played Andy Irvine and Rodriguez in midfield. Paqueta as a striker. The Wilson subbing off at Bournemouth after 2 goals for a centre-back. He brought him off. Kilman, when we were winning against Chelsea, instead of going, he brings back Max Kilman. The weird experiment at Aston Villa. And now the Newcastle game was switching up.
Ollie's goals at right back.
Yeah, when he played Ollie Scholes at right wing back, and he's never even played
yesterday. Did you notice yesterday that Mavropanos and Disasi were playing on opposite sides to what they've been playing?
Yep. And this is the thing. I'll put it in the chat. I don't know whether you guys see it. See Tadibo when he come off, he turned around and said we should have switched.
Yeah, the thing is, people were saying that he was laughing. He wasn't laughing at the situation. No. He was laughing because it was fucking a joke to bring him off. To be fair.
Yeah. Too many times the managers hung players out to dry. Too many times. And this is what I'm saying. You guys said you've got to forgive the first 2 games when he made them mistakes there. As I said, you don't forgive that. That's somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
Incompetence.
Yeah,
I think looking back at that, Scott, it's obviously like he had a lot more. He had loads of games to play. He was experimenting. Yes, he made mistakes, but you're right. He shouldn't be doing that. Just stick to what you know. Play a right back, play a left back. Yeah. You don't play a goalkeeper up front, do you? Because he scores a good goal in training.
When a manager's been sacked and a new one comes in, he needs to go back to basics. You go in and go, right, this is the best team. The mad thing is, Nuno see the team that smashed his team. Nuno was managing when we beat fucking Forest 3-0, right? So he had a good look at the players then. And instead of just playing that team, he goes, oh, is this Andy Irvine fella? Well, this Rodriguez. Let's play this. What is this? Scholes? Is he a left back? We'll play him at right wing back. It's not like he's never seen us before and he had no idea. So to me, there's no excuse because you're coming in. We know we was in a relegation battle at that point. Just go and do the basics, and then if you want to experiment, maybe bring Andy Irvine off the bench. Have a look at him. Let's see how he does. Don't start fucking changing wholesale. It's not pre-season. That's what pre-season's for. You ain't got it. Just play the best team. That's all he had to do, and we wouldn't be in this mess. So I can't.
What happens when he did play the best team? Well, and this is what I said to you way back then. The decisions he made are decisions that we all sat here and went, well, he needs to play in this position. He needs to play. They weren't decisions he went out there and got tactically, I'm this tactical mastermind and got right. They were decisions that a Sunday league manager would make.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Who ain't got a fucking clue who any of them players are?
Exactly. That's what it boils down to. He's so out of his depth. And as I said, I called him a fraud after 2 games, and I'm still sticking by it. Even if we stay up, I'm going to stick by it.
Yeah, the thing is, even if somehow we manage to stay up, which is very slim, but if we do, because if anyone can Spurs things up, it's Spurs. So if that happens and we stay up, I still think we have to get rid of Nuno.
Yeah.
Whatever division we're in, he has to be gone.
The thing is, right, is you can't trust his recruitment. Yeah, okay. He got Tatty right to an extent of he's got a hard-working player. Pablo, as I said, all Pablo does is run around. Doesn't offer anything else. He runs around. Yeah. He and I said the player he got sacked.
Traore, Scott.
Sacked from Nottingham Forest because he wanted a player that he gets who is a pile of poop, but then has a decent game, and we don't see him since then. You know, it said he's on a two. He signed 4 players in the window. 2 turned out all right, and 2 have been massive flops.
The shock for me was this guy that he's followed around since he had him at Wolves. He was completely surprised to turn out that he was built like a bodybuilder. What we all knew. He said, "I was surprised how big it was." Like, that's what he's known for. This is the guy that you've been following. You didn't know. You've had to tell him to stay out of the gym. And he's ended up stop playing, not bringing him on, and then he goes and gets it's an absolute all-time massive foul to put your neck on the line. And even Tatty and Pablo, I'll just say, Tatty has sort of worked out, but we've paid like 50 million for the pair of them.
Yeah,
like we've spent massive money on these two, and look, Tatty does work up, but he's come in as a striker that we've signed, and he's not got the goals to keep us up. He scored an amazing goal against Newcastle that meant absolutely nothing in the end, but he's not moved the needle to the point of, well, we've signed him, you know, to come in as our striker to score goals, because we haven't been able to rely on Jarrod Bowen. Somerville went for a goal scoring purple patch and went out of it. So, and we can't score. We barely score from set pieces.
Yeah.
So we needed it. We needed him to be that guy, and it's a lot of pressure for him. But I'm sorry, 50 mil for the pair of them is shit.
Yeah, the thing is, that's one of the comments there. You know, Nuno's always been a bottle job, right? Let's look at it right.
Yeah, he bottled their top 4 last year.
But this is the thing: his disastrous run of results started at Forest when they were chasing Champions League. They were in an FA Cup semi-final, and he completely bottled it. Then
I think in the whole of 2025, Scott, he's won like a handful of games. Like, I don't, because that form that he had, they started the season, first half of last season, really well for us. And then in 2025, they fell off. They was like 3rd at one point. They just fell off a cliff. And, you know, and finished in a conference spot. And then in the summer, you know, with all the signings, he lost and lost and lost again until we bought him. We smashed him and then signed him.
Yep.
Like, it's a madness. And then with us, how many games did we win towards the end of last year? We had that favourable run of fixtures in December. We all looked to go, it's all right, we've lost these games, because look, once we get these tough ones out of the way, we got the winnable games. We'll win them games. We didn't fucking win them. So, like, he's just like what Ryan said. Win, stay up, go down. I don't want to see any more of these types of managers now. I don't care what league we're in. I'm tired of it.
It's always, as long as Sullivan's at this football club, it's always going to be them type of managers. If they get rid of Nuno, they'll go out and get a Dyche, a Scott Parker, a Gary O'Neill. You know, someone like that. Someone who's out of work, someone who's going to be cheap, and someone who's going to be up Sullivan's arse. That's what they were. The reason why Sullivan and Moyes fell out is because Moyes wasn't up his arse. And Moyes wanted to run the football club how he wanted to run it. But Sullivan doesn't like that. He likes to be a dictator. And that's the problem. And that's why we're in this mess.
Just get someone that's actually going to have some bollocks and play some fucking football where we're actually going to see our team try to win games and not go into fucking games all the time, figuring out how not to lose. That's what I'm so tired. We've had these negative managers for fucking like 15 years now, almost. You know,
who's the other one? Who's the other one that out of work that everyone loved, who was a championship fucking Will Steele, the one that fucking was a West Ham fan. Like, we'll end up with someone like them. And look, do you know what? Look, but at the end of the day, we're not down yet. The next 24 hours, if Chelsea go out and beat Spurs tomorrow, we go into that last game of the season on Sunday. And who knows? Who knows what can happen? Look, Everton, I don't think they can get in Europe, but they still want to see Tottenham at home haven't won for 5 months. If Chelsea win tomorrow and we go to that last game of the season, just imagine Tottenham 0-0, 60, 65 minutes, West Ham, we're winning. The pressure's going to be on them. You know, so I don't think it's going to happen. As I said earlier, I think Tottenham will get a result tomorrow night. Probably not win, but they might just get a draw, and it'll be enough.
Yeah.
It'll be enough.
The thing is, right, is that you look at that Tottenham 0-0, and we're winning. We're still down.
Yeah, we are, but Tottenham will always be on edge. If Everton score,
we're down. Yeah.
No, wait, hold up. We're 2 points behind Spurs. So if Spurs lose tomorrow,
if they lose tomorrow,
when they draw, we win. Yeah,
it's literally we have to win and Everton have to win for us to stay up. That's if Spurs lose tomorrow. If Spurs draw tomorrow,
what I'm saying. But if we're winning, and they're drawing, it's still going to be in their head that they know they can concede. Yeah. They've been shit at home all season.
Yeah, it's whether Everton are going to be that on it that they're going to want to get. Because this is the thing, right? Moyes is going to Moyes. You got two things. This is a good way for Moisey to stick two fingers up at the club, isn't it? And the fans.
The thing is, he's already under massive pressure at Everton. Most of their fans want him out, so I don't think he'll do himself any favours by losing on purpose.
I don't know, but the thing is, we all know Moyes away from home will be happy with a draw.
They've been pretty good, mate. They've been pretty good away.
Yeah, no. Tottenham
well, I don't know. I think they haven't. We beat them, didn't we? And I think they haven't won much since we beat them.
Oh, Spurs.
They've been good, but their form has been really poor. You know, they've basically.
I think no matter what happens, it's too little, too late. So
I watched Everton yesterday, and
I don't even think we'll beat Leeds.
Yeah. Sunderland ripped them apart, and that is the point. We've got to go and beat a good Leeds team, a team that are in form, a team that have got a striker that, let's be honest, most of our fan base turned their nose up at Calvert-Lewin at the beginning of the season. He's not good enough.
Yeah, but the problem is,
English goal scorer in the Premier League.
We wouldn't have played him like our Leeds are playing him. He would have been shit at West Ham because we would have stuck him up front on his own and expected him to fucking run around and have no service. He would have been an absolute disaster.
Than us. I'm with you, Dan.
He didn't do anything until they changed things up at Leeds, until they changed the formation.
That's the thing. And what did they do? They changed their style to suit their striker.
Imagine that.
You know, something that historically we don't do.
No, exactly. Well, like we saw it with Wilson on the weekend.
Listen, we've seen it under 5 different managers. We sign strikers and then don't play to the striker's strengths. You know.
Well, whatever it is, it's in the hands of the gods now, isn't it? So
yeah, or the fucking. Do you know what pissed me off? Right, if we get relegated tomorrow night and then players go out and put a performance in when it's already confirmed, because I'll be so pissed off. I'll be like, where the fuck was that when it mattered?
I'll be honest with you, right? Unless we stay up that last game of the season, at the end of the season, them players should not even think about doing a walk around the pitch.
Nah.
Not even.
They get pelted with fruit.
If we stay up, of course they will, and everyone will be on a buzz.
Yeah. But if we don't, don't bother.
If we, I think, if we don't stay up, then just get straight down the fucking tunnel.
Yep. Yeah.
Get in your luxury motors and fuck off back to your mansions, and don't worry about us. You can fuck off to another football club once you want to get out, because they're already probably tapping up their agents saying, "Get me out of this football club." It's football. That's why football is probably the best job in the world, isn't it? You can be shit at your job, but you can get rewarded.
You get rewarded.
But they all stand there with their hands on the hips, looking sad and looking down and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. You think I'm buying that yesterday from Fernandez? Sees the camera coming and crouches down and fucking pretends that he gives a shit. The geezer's been relegated twice in 2 seasons.
The thing is, you can look at this season, right? Bowen with his goal involvements and goals, Somerville in that purple patch, Tatty has worked his socks off since he's come to the football club. The Sarsi, barring a couple of performances, has been brilliant. Mavropanos, he's stood up and been counted. But some of the others really need to
yesterday, Mavropanos. He was making mistakes all over.
Yeah,
he started because he was on the wrong side.
Yeah. Again, this is what we're saying: experimenting. When why if you're going to play the back 5, why tinker with what
It's weird, isn't it?
In front of Arsenal.
We've had a total fucking revamp, and then all of a sudden he thinks, "Oh, wait a minute, I'll try him on that side and him on that side. See what happens."
You know what? I will say this. Shout out to Wolfie, Forest fans. Nicky did apologise for his take. He apologised on the morning after. So well done, Nick. Apology accepted. But this man came on this channel and told us how Nuno was going to do pretty brilliant for us and keep us up. So you need to apologise for fucking selling us on Nuno, mate.
I'll get that Wednesday when I see you.
To be fair, though, he still might.
Yeah, he
yeah,
might.
No, if he does, fair, but I just have no belief. Like when it's on the line that we'll go and beat Leeds, and you see Leeds, even when it was confirmed that they're safe and they've been on the beach, they ain't look like they've been on the beach. They've been fucking working their ass. What I saw against Spurs, they worked their ass off and got a result and could have won that game. It just pisses me off. I look at Newcastle and they looked like the team that were fighting for survival, and we look like the team that was safe and had nothing to play for.
I'll be honest, right? And I don't even know why I done it, but I watched the highlights again. Newcastle didn't even get out of second gear yesterday. Let's be honest. I think they were shocked how poor we were.
Yeah, well, you'd be shocked if you started running and then no one ever can come near you.
But that was the thing. I mean, as we changed system, we were all
Harvey Barnes had the freedom of Newcastle yesterday when he got that ball. It's a joke, mate. But look, we can't just blame yesterday. We can't blame the VAR last week. It's a 38-game season. We've lost 19. We've only won 9 games. That's why where we are. So it's I mean, we ain't even spoke about Diouf. I don't even want to talk about him, to be honest. He's another player that I think gets hyped because he has a couple of good games. All he does is gets his head down and whips it in. Sometimes it comes off. Someone will score from it. But other than that, he overhits it, underhits it, and
this is it. I was saying this to some Man United fans who's just salivate. Oh, we'll get Diouf, we'll get Fernandes for cheap. It's like the players that you think you're getting are going to sorely disappoint you if you think these are the players that are going to get you to go from Champions League to fighting for the title and fighting for major trophies. Like, they're going to be sorely disappointed because they see them, they look good in highlights, these players, and it's just the decision to get rid of an experienced left back like Emerson, is always going to be a
rid of him, mate. We sold him for less than £1 million fucking pound.
It's a fucking disgrace, and we froze him out.
You're spot on there, Dan, because not only did we get rid of Emerson, we let someone like Soufal go. We let a lot of experience in that, whether they were going to play week in, week out, but they replaced them with players that don't give a shit, where they got rid of players that would probably die for the badge. Soufal loves this football club. I see him tweeting yesterday about West Ham.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And you let players like that go.
You see these players leaving, and you look back, and this is the problem, right? You look back from 2022, as I said, I was going to say this earlier. Rice left; it was inevitable, right? But you're looking at not Balbuena, Alvarez, Fornals, Ben Rama, players like that, Mikel Antonio, even, and players like that played in that season. They would all Soufal, Cresswell, because I think he'd still fucking start in this side, to be quite honest with you. Dawson, players like that, they'd all still fucking start in this team. And that is the sad fucking reality of it. They'd all start. Every single one of them would start in this team week in, week out, and we've let them go. Some because we thought we was going to get upgrades, some because, people didn't think that was good enough. But when you look at the fucking team that we had in Tilo Kehrer starts in this team. 100% starts in his team. You look at the players that we've let go, Emerson, you look at the players that we've let go, and the fact that they still start in this team now because we was trying to build upon that is so damning, and that just shows you where we are.
Kerr's a bold shout, but I will say,
mate, I'm fucking telling you, I would 100% back my fucking self.
Over who?
Any of them.
No, but where? What are you talking about? What position? Where?
Play centre back. He definitely played centre back. He'd have played
centre back over Mavropanos or Disasi.
Mavropanos was fucking shocking at the beginning of the season. He wouldn't have even been in the side.
He weren't shocking at the beginning of the season.
He was, mate.
He's been our best defender all season.
No, he hasn't. He
Best
hasn't.
defender all season.
No, I think he got selective.
That is a wild
Watch it
take.
back. Best defender. He was the one before he got injured. We were sitting there saying,
Best
"Oh, he's
defender.
completely changed around as a player." we need."
Selective memory, mate.
No,
He would start over Kilman, but that's it. Like, but I will say,
who was playing at the beginning of the season? Gilman.
Yeah, no, well, he starts over. Yeah, if you're talking Kilman, then yes.
but
Right.
you've also got to remember a lot.
On,
Sorry, a lot of the players who had the experience that we lost this season at the start of the season, Nick, was because of the manager we had, who didn't like being contradicted, didn't like players challenging him.
Yeah, that was on. Yeah, look how he throws out Emerson. He wouldn't let him come to the tour, wouldn't let him come training, sent him home to be, and he just sat at home for the whole summer until like the last day of the window. It was disgraceful. But I want to call out Wan-Bissaka because he done some good things going forward yesterday. But do you know what? He's a lazy fucker. He is one lazy fucker because the amount of times I've seen him, like yesterday, I think it was the second goal, and he's just standing there. No urgency to get back and try and defend him. We know he can do it. Everyone calls him this 1v1 demon, right? We see he can fucking bomb down and put a tackle in. But anytime there's a counter attack on, I see it so many times. The geezer just watches. Like, what the fuck is that? Honestly, I've been praising him.
He's another one. He's another one like the Kudus. He's all well and good when it's all fucking going well. As soon as you got to put your fucking head down and get down and fucking pull your socks up and get to it, I'd rather just fucking watch and wait till next season comes along when he's playing for fucking Tottenham or someone. Because that's what'll happen. Newcastle, something like that.
That's the one thing with Kyle Walker-Peters. At least you get someone that's going to fucking put a shift in. And listen, if we hopefully keep him next season, I think he'll be good in the Championship. But he'll give you effort. Whereas Wan-Bissaka will have moments of quality, and he's good at going forward and linking up with Bowen. Like Kyle Walker-Peters is an all-rounder, and he will get up and down. He'll put a shift in. Whereas he just there's so many times where I've seen he switches off at back posts, or he watches fucking strikers bear down on goal. Like, that's not acceptable. As much as I've liked him and I've praised him, he can fuck off.
Fucking Ward-Prowse will be back this year, will he?
We'll have Ward-Prowse, we'll have Maxwell Cornet back, we'll have Fulkrug back. Like, these players that we're just going to be stuck with and we won't be able to get rid of.
Them players will probably do a job in the Championship.
Yeah, they probably will.
Fulkrug, I don't know, mate, if even fit enough to play in the Championship. But look, and Cornet, I don't know what's going on with that guy.
He keeps getting injured. Cornet keeps getting injured.
We're just stuck with these fucking random ass players that can't play for us, and no one's going to take them. They're just going to take up. We're financially in trouble.
Just release them.
We're going to be stuck with these players on high wages.
If you're not going to get a transfer free for them, just release them.
They got to agree it because they can just sit there and take the money.
Yeah,
and you would hope that they'd go.
Yeah, but look, someone like Fulkrug, but Cornet his contract must be nearly up. He's been here 4 years now, 5 years.
Another year. I think he's got at least another year. Cornet.
Oh, it's madness, isn't it?
They're all on like Fulkrug. I hope they must have relegation clauses. But
as far as what I understand, they've got relegation clauses.
Have we still got?
They'll still be on high wages. Like I think our wage bill is 4 times like the top Championship club.
Even if you half it.
Yeah, so if you half it, it's still 2 times the top Championship club.
When they released that league table the other week about since 2020, the teams that have spent the most money in the world, we were 8th on just shy of £900 million we've spent, and we're going down to the Championship. That just shows you everything now. The recruitment, everything is wrong. But look, tomorrow night, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow night, but we might still have a chance somehow of scraping out of this. As I said earlier, I can't see it, but football's a funny game. And we've been watching football a long time to know that there's always twists and turns, especially on the final day. And if we get one more twist and we finally take a chance, who knows? But
listen, it's always the harder it is, the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. You know what I mean? So we will all, but as much as we'll be buzzing, and I'll actually love it to do it that way, it'll be fun. We can't sweep a lot of the shit we've seen under the carpet. And I won't be forgetting, and I won't be forgiving in a lot of ways. But we'll enjoy it on the last day and we'll celebrate. But a lot of people need a reckoning, especially David Sullivan. And honestly, if we do get confirmed relegated tomorrow, that last game just needs to be one massive protest, because
It won't be. People will just use it as a big piss up.
Yeah, well,
that's what it'll be. There won't be protests over there.
That's why we stuck with what we got. Like, it's
the protests were never going to make a difference. They've stopped. When was the last time the protest happened? January? And how many people turn up?
Well, I think they still do the red cards and that.
They still did the red card on the 15th minute.
Yeah, I mean that's made loads of difference.
Waving a red card. I don't think you can have a go at the protest. I mean,
no, I'm not having a go at the protest. I'm just saying it don't matter how much you protest, you're not going to get him out of the club. I think they've done a fantastic job at Hammers United and everyone involved. And I was at the protest. I've been at all the protests this season.
Yeah.
But you know yourself, they was getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
As I said, the problem is that when you've got someone in charge of a football club who don't care about the fans, he don't care about the fans. And that's
then what do we do then?
The issue with Sullivan, mate, is he locks himself away and he doesn't fucking see anything. That's the problem.
Exactly.
You never see him. He gets shepherded in there. He goes up to his box. He has his little bit of fucking dinner. He has his little drink. Watches the fucking game, and then he gets shepherded back out. Then locks himself in an office for a week.
Yeah,
well, I just think. Yeah, but I just think if we think like that, like, then what's the point? Like, because if by saying, right, okay, we're not going to sing anti-Sullivan songs, we're not going to get banners, we're not going to do any of that, you're just letting him off the hook. Like, if it gets him out or not, it's not the point.
It's just making him uncomfortable.
And make him uncomfortable, exactly.
Do you think he looks uncomfortable?
He hates, the guy's got, like, such a small man, he's got a massive ego. He fucking hates it, because all the stuff that comes out in the media. Remember all the times he used to run onto Jim White anytime he'd got any sort of shit off fans and try and fucking damage control. And no, he fucking hates it.
He hates it like any one of us would hate getting abused, but he's still there every week in the fucking director's box.
But that's what I'm saying. If it all it does is make him uncomfortable and bring him some shred of fucking misery, whatever. Do it. If that's the minimum, that he's just sitting there and going, "Oh, well, I wish they'd stop doing this. It's really ruining
He's got a lot of issues on his hands. Let's be honest." So
I just think it don't cost us nothing. It don't cost us nothing to fucking sing about.
I agree, mate. But the guy just doesn't care, and this is the thing. He just don't care. You can stand in front of his face and call him all the names you want. He looks down, right? For a short man, he looks down on you because he's better than you.
I've just told you why he does care. So I've just given you examples of him showing, because if he didn't care, Scott, he wouldn't be running to fucking talk to him every time.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is the fact of the matter is there are certain people.
Yeah, but I'm not saying what I just said, Scott. It don't matter if he listen to what I'm saying. If it doesn't matter if us singing and chanting makes him sell. What I'm saying is, if at the very least it does is make him uncomfortable, then why not just do it?
As I said, there are certain people in this world that no matter what they do, they're shameless. They never take. They never take the hint. That's it. You know.
I think if we admit defeat, it's just go fuck it. Let's just wait it out. And I just think it's been like
it for 10 years, really, isn't it? Like the protest, and we've all wanted him out, but he's still here. And this is the problem with him. He doesn't care. And I agree with what Scott said, and I agree with what you're saying as well, Dan. Like these songs and all that, of course they've got to continue. And yes, make him uncomfortable. But honestly, mate, when he wants to sell this club, it's because he wants out and he wants the most money, not because we're singing songs to him.
No, but like I said, I think we shouldn't admit defeat and give it. Like I said, Newcastle fans, they never gave up. And look, I don't think they're worried about and sitting there going, did he sell because we sang or because it was the time? But they did. I don't want us to give up and just go, fuck it.
No, Dan, I'm not saying we should give up or anything like that. Right?
I don't think,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at the end of the day it should, because they should know that we're not happy. What I'm with Ryan. He will go when he wants to go, and that's what I mean when he don't care.
Maybe
he don't
he will,
care
like I
because
said,
he'll
maybe
sell
he
when he
will.
wants to sell.
But yeah, like I said, maybe he will. But then what does that? What does
Listen,
that knowledge
listen.
change?
At the end of the day, we're going around in circles. At the end of the day, he's right. You're right. You can call your neighbour a cunt every day. That means he's going to sell his house. So, you know what I mean?
No, but I bet he won't like it.
But he won't like it. That's exactly right. So there we go. Let's leave that there. Thank you to OK Jerseys for sponsoring this video. There is going to be a promotion from tomorrow where you can get 15% off your World Cup jerseys. Look out for a video tomorrow where we will drop that in there. But for now, get 10% off of any club jerseys with the code Nicky10. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for joining us this season. We've got one more, obviously, post-match pint left, but it's been emotional and it's been fucking sad at times and it's been fucking whatever. But listen, we're not going anywhere. Even if we go down to the Championship, we'll just have some nice new trips next year. But thank you very much for joining us.
Maybe we'll see if we can, do an in-person PMP next week if we can.
Maybe we'll see what we can do. But
last
there we go.
PMP.
Thank you very much. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video, hype the video, and one thing left for us to say. Come on, you
Come on,
you irons.